Hi, I'm Chris Haigh and this is the Fiddle channel, and today we're going to look at the Black Mountain Rag. Black Mountain Rag is a request for Guillaume. This is a very special tune. It's a tune I think specially designed for contest playing, and either in old time or bluegrass. It's a favourite tune, but it's so designed for winning contests that it's actually been banned from most contests, as indeed has the Orange Blossom Special. It was popularised, if not actually written, in the late 1930s, and it can be either played in standard tuning or calico tuning, which is A, E, A, C sharp, and I'm going to give you a version in each of those. And incidentally, I looked up calico tuning just as a little experiment on ChatGPT to see what it would make of the question, what is calico tuning? And it told me that it was G, D, A, E. And it's quite nice to know that my job is safe from artificial intelligence, at least for the time being. Anyway, we're going to start off with the AEA C sharp version, calico tuning. So what we've done is the G has gone up to A, the D stays where it is, the A stays where it is, and the E comes down to C sharp. You always name a tuning from the bottom string. This is a really good tuning, and there's lots of Scandinavian tunes that use this, and it sounds quite different in a Scandinavian context, but that's another story. If you like this kind of tuning but don't like the idea of tuning your G string up to A, you can do the whole thing down a tone, so that would be G, D, G, B, which is exactly the same fingering, but you're not tuning actually anything up. So I'm going to go through this section by section because there's quite a few tricky little bits. We'll start off with a little Taters intro. And this is just two open strings. And incidentally, the music that's written down is the music as fingered, not as heard. And that is the complication of playing in open tunings, that what you read is not the same as what you see. Okay, so what we've got is 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice the second time I did the open string drones, and there's really not a lot of point in using this tuning if you're not going to do open string drones, because the whole thing is designed to ring, and the more open string drones you do, the better. Let's just do that one again a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then we've got, now this you've got to do with your fourth finger. You'd be very tempted to play, to try and do an open E, and of course it's not going to play an open E, it's going to play an open C sharp. So you have to do fourth finger, second finger. One more time, a bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, next, down to the G string. Okay, now we get to the really interesting bit. And it's a thing which it will make no sense whatsoever the first time you see it or hear it. So what's going on here? The top line is quite straightforward, but when you put your second finger down, you're putting your third finger down, touching, but one step, half step up. So you're playing that note, and that's your second and third finger. And then you're leaving, in fact, keep your first finger on both on those, then put your second and third finger down. So we're starting like that. Lift them both off, but keep your first on. And then lift the first finger off. So we're going. So this is something that it's kind of baffling to hear it, and it's baffling to try and understand it. So don't try and understand it, just learn the fingering, do it by muscle memory, and it sounds great. Okay, then we go to the final section, which is kind of a bit like the main part of the Orange Blossom Special, in that it has a double shuffle and it has the same kind of chord sequence. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. I'll just show you the fingering of those tricky little bits. So here we've got the third finger on the C, first finger on the E and staying there. First finger stays on, second finger comes down half a step, down a whole step. This is open D with the first finger playing the bottom A. Second finger goes on top of the first finger. And if you're not familiar with that bowing pattern, that's called double shuffle or hoken bowing, and I do have a video all about that which will explain it. If you've played the Orange Blossom Special before, you'll be familiar with this. If you haven't, don't expect to learn it straight away, because it's quite tricky. But once you've got it for life. Okay, let's play the whole thing from the beginning and with the backing. If you're learning this for the first time and haven't played it with anyone else before, then be aware, as with most tunes, that there are many different versions. And because this is a kind of a contest tune, there are many more even than usual. So don't think of this as the definitive version by any means. And if there's any bits that you want to change, make easier or make trickier, then by all means do that. Don't expect that if you sit down with half a dozen fiddlers and you play this tune together, that you're all going to be playing the same version, because you're almost certainly not. Anyway, let's now move on to the standard tuning version, the G, D, A, E, for which I'm going to swap fiddles. So now in this version, we are going to be not only fingering what is written, but hearing what we expect to hear. And this, I must say, is not exactly the same version as we've just played before, but turned to G, D, A, E. This is one that suits the normal tuning. And in fact, that strange bit in the middle that we did before, that there's probably no physical way of doing that in standard tuning. So we're going to start off with a drone. You could do A, E, top E, or A, bottom E. Or then we've got pretty straightforward. Then and notice I did drones on the second half. Okay, then put your first finger across the A and the E note, bottom two strings. Put your third finger down on top of your first finger. And we're going to move from there to playing the open A and open E. So make sure your first finger is tipped round enough that you can play a clean A whilst keeping your first finger on. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, let me just go through the fingering of the double shuffle part. So we're going from D to A. So we're rocking onto the open D string each time, but we're going open 1, 2. And then when we get to the next double shuffle, so we're starting this bit with first and first. Third finger above that, stretching and holding, and then we're rocking the second finger up and down over that. And then keeping the first finger where it is, bring the third finger down half a step. And then first, second again. Like that. So let's go all the way through that at a steady tempo, and then we'll do it with the backing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's do it now a little bit faster and with the backing track. Hope you enjoyed this. If you would like a copy of the sheet music, then do subscribe to the channel and send me an email. The backing track to this, as with all my backing tracks, is available if you join me on Patreon. And also joining me on Patreon, you can get all 400 of my PDFs in one go. So do please consider that. It's what keeps these videos coming. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon.